What's up, guys? It's a beautiful day here in Central Ohio, and I am out doing what I do, cruising around the hot rod. Got my 1970 Pontiac LeMans wound up. Got my drive shaft reinstalled, and she is doing wonderful. Got rid of my odd little harmonic, and you know, needed to take her out for a test drive. So I figured I might as well come up here and visit my guys at Jegs. Also, I happened to see on Jacob my friend from down south, he just showed something on his Instagram. Thank you. Appreciate that. He showed on his Instagram, I believe, the other day that Jegs has a brand new mechanical secondary 750 CFM racing carburetor, chrome. And I happen to know a NASCAR that's had some carburetor issues, and I figure I might as well give this sucker a try. So we've got a 406 in the NASCAR that you saw me take on Hot Rod Power Tour, and we just bolted on an 850 CFM Brawler, and we've had some issues with it. Let's just say it's got some issues, and I've never really been a gigantic fan of that setup, so I want to give this Jegs one a try. I already ordered one. It should be sitting in here at the main office up here in Delaware, Ohio. So we're going to wander in there and pick up my brand new 750 CFM racing carburetor. Check this sucker out. I am excited about this. The next time that car really needs to be out is actually going to be on Good Guys in Central Ohio, here in Columbus, at the fairgrounds. And it's going to be in the Jegs tent. So it also makes sense to put as much Jegs equipment on this thing as I possibly can. By the way, check out the Pontiac. She's back up and running. Yeah, buddy. You see I did a little bit of rust proofing there on the fenders. You know, you just got to make sure that that drive shaft is properly balanced. What I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So 455 built at Performance Research Inc. in Columbus, Ohio, which actually I got to go over there and meet up with those guys here shortly as well about another engine project I have that's been idling on. Turbo 350, 336 rear end gear, positive traction. Still has the original Pontiac 10 bolt though that's in that car. Absolutely wonderful hot rod road car. Gets like 14.5 miles to gallon on a blueprinted Quadrajet, Rochester Quadrajet. Yeah. Hey, welcome to Jegs. This is the corporate headquarters and warehouse. So everything I could possibly need is just behind this glass. Back in yonder. Give me a second, I'll get my new product. My goodies, got myself a new HEI distributor. We're gonna probably upgrade the ignition on the NASCAR because why not? And then we've also got some fuel pressure regulator stuff in here as well, so we can get that done. We have been having some over-fueling issues on that car, so we're gonna try to nip all that stuff in the bud as quickly as possible. Plus the HEI will also help burn all that fuel a little bit better. This is my brand new racing carburetor. Like brand new. Like the guys at Jegs haven't even seen this thing yet. Got an installation guide in case I don't know how to bolt the carburetor on. Comes with gaskets. That's not what I wanted. Come on, get out the box. There we go. How about them apples? How about them apples? This is gonna be cool because this is like literally a brand new product, like literally not been seen before. Linkage looks nice. Butterflies open nice. Uses standard jets, standard cams. Has fuel at both sides. Has sight glasses on all four corners. 4150 style. Looks good to me. I'm excited. Obviously, it's also got Jeg stickers all over it. We are basically trying to prep this NASCAR as best we can to get it ready to go for the Good Guys show. That is the second weekend in July, and it is one that I always make sure I make it to. That is the biggest show of the year, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to hot rods. You do not miss this show, especially when you live in Central Ohio. And given we have a Jegs liveried NASCAR, it would behoove me to make sure I've got this thing running as good as possible. Now, whether or not 750 CFM is too much, not enough, probably more on the side of not enough, but we'll see. We don't plan on spinning this thing into any kind of crazy RPM levels, but I want to check this thing out. I want to see what it does. I don't know if we're going to have a chance to get it on the dyno or not. Maybe, if I'm lucky, but we'll see. We'll see. I've also got a engine cradle in case we need to pull that small block out to get everything resealed back up. By the way, in case you've never been up to the Jegs warehouse, why haven't you, but pretty cool location. Obviously lots of history here with the Jegs family and the extended Jegs family. Pretty large family that has a whole lot of roots in racing, and you can see a lot of that in their waiting room here. I realize that I have a pretty unique access to a lot of this stuff. Obviously, I'm at Jegs quite often, but you can see a lot of their accomplishments in the history of Jegs all on the walls. What's the best kind of muscle car? The kind of muscle car you can still use as a car. Look at that. Stash a spare set of wheels, all my bits and pieces, some other previous Jegs purchases. She's a looker, ain't she? It's good to have this car back up on the road. We didn't have any kind of major failures anywhere. Whoop, looks like I lost the box. Oh, looks like I also need to take the blue off my tires there. She's been a good steed over the years. Probably need to get this thing out on track again, do some more race car stuff with it. We still have the dial-in information and stuff from when Uncle Bob raced this thing down at Plates and 28s. That's how long it's been since I've had this car down the track, or even at the car wash. I haven't even bothered to take the numbers off the thing. But it's a good little 9.5 to 1 compression 455 Pontiac, overbuilt for what it is. But I'll be honest with you, that's the way I typically tend to build things. I want to overbuild them and then don't use them at 100%. Make it so it takes a lot of abuse and then run it at 70% or so. That way you don't have to worry about anything breaking. And as usual, it's a pump gas car. And by pump gas, I mean actual pump gas. It runs on 93 octane because 85 ain't real pump gas. You can fight me with that if you want. I'm gonna win, I promise. All right, let's get back to the shop. Got more stuff to do. More stuff to do. Just fires right up. One of the main reasons I love this car is it's not perfect. It's not anywhere near perfect. It's solid. Yes, it's got some patina to it, but the physical car itself is in fantastic shape. Floors are in great shape, frame rails are in great shape. The car itself is fantastic. And as far as drivers go, the nice thing is you're not worried about driving it. If it gets a ding on it, if it gets a scratch on it, one of those Canadian geese takes a poop on it, wash it off. But otherwise, it's not that big of a deal, you know? A lot of times people get their hot rods and they spend just gobs of money on these things, and they over-restore the car. They make them too perfect and too nice. They got $20,000, $30,000 wrapped up in a car that sits in a plastic wrapper and doesn't go out of the garage. Sits in a car cover and occasionally gets rubbed on or, shown off to your friends because you've got a cool car in the garage. But I put, I don't know, 15,000 miles on this car over the years since we put it together. And I drive the absolute shit out of this thing all the time. It's hot rod season, man. Go out there and play with your toys. And one of the biggest things that I know a lot of people regret is they make their cars too nice. There's a guy I talked to actually on Power Tour
you may have seen it in the last video that I put out, which is the really long one, which is the Cool Cars and Conversations video, where that gentleman bought that green Roadrunner from a guy who had done exactly that. He made it too nice, and he was afraid to drive it. He spent tons of money on the body work and all the other things to make the car just mwah. But then he was too scared to drive the thing. What a horrible situation that is. You built this beautiful piece of machinery, this wonderful vehicle, and then you're just scared to drive it. I promise you that is not something that I will ever do. I'm maybe more guilty on the other side, where I don't bother making all my stuff as nice as I possibly could, and I just do drive the hell out of it. So I don't know. Not a bad way to spend a day, though, I tell you that. Not a bad way to spend the day. Going out hot rodding around. I've actually got to go down to Jegs 11th Avenue, and I got to see if I can pull a favor. We'll see if I can pull that off after I get back to the shop. I got to drop some other stuff off and then do a couple of things at the shop, and then we're going to head down to the 11th Avenue store. And I think I can catch Craig in there today, because I got to call in a favor from the big wigs. Little quarter throttle pull there. God, I love this car. God, I love this car. What a perfect cruiser and a perfect day for out cruising in your hot rod, man. What a great day. She does play a wicked good tune out the pipes too. Those are actually pipes. It's a Flowtech long tube headers, pipes, 2.5-inch exhaust kit with an X pipe, and pipes violator mufflers through pipes Trans Am tips on the back. So it's got that Smokey the Bandit tips that is set up on the rear, which honestly on this car I really think sets this car off. I was worried when I put this exhaust on here that the term violator would be too aggressive for a street car, but I'll be honest, it fits this car perfectly. What a great way to spend a day. Yep, she still got it. No more vibration in the drivetrain. Cruising at speed limit. Last time I was driving this car, there was a kind of a whoop, whoop, whoop that you could hear it, you could sort of feel it, but it's a very weird little vibration. Turned out the drive shaft and U-joints were original. Never been touched. So 1970 U-joints. Brand new U-joints in it, Spicer U-joints from Driveline 1. They rebalanced the drive shaft, still the original drive shaft of the car, but no more vibrations whatsoever. And you can see my mirror is pretty reasonably calm. I mean, you know, reasonably. It's a hot rod. But this car is fantastically drivable. Absolutely fantastically drivable. It's funny, every time I park this car for like a short period of time and I get back in it, I kind of forget about how much I love driving this car, because it plays a amazing tune out the pipes, and it's got such a presence. People see this car, I get thumbs up everywhere I go, because it's one of those things you just don't ever see. Hey, it's a Pontiac, not a a Chevelle, so it's much more rare and more expensive to build. But it's just cool to see people that are actually, paying attention and not playing on their phones, recording YouTube videos, and they're actually paying attention to what's driving down the road, and it makes you feel good. I feel like I'm doing a service to the country, don't you? When you're out driving your hot rod around, don't you feel like you're doing something good for other people? You guys get to look at this thing. You get to see me out out here driving this. And again, I mentioned this in every video. You got the hot rod pose. You got your hand on, your arm out the window, maybe your hand on the mirror. You know what I mean? Look at that, alignment-wise. Just cruising on down the road, buddy. I love it. I love it. I should do more videos of this. It's good for the soul. Just get out and drive. Just get out and drive. Have a good time in your hot rods. I am very blessed to be able to do what it is I do and to have the toys that I have. And I honestly owe a lot of that to you guys. If it weren't for you guys watching what it is I do and kind of spending time here with me, I couldn't pay for all this stuff. You guys literally spending time here watching this stuff doesn't cost you a penny, but it earns me little bits of pennies so that I can afford to do all this stuff. Buy new hot rod parts for my hot rods. So thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Oh, that a ponies? Welcome to the land of perpetual road construction out by us. I guess perpetual construction. They're always building new homes and highways and overpasses, underpasses, off ramps, roundabouts. We build it all out here. And we have made this car so good over the last couple of years. Turn signal. Oh, hey. Looks what's in the parking lot. Look at that. Lots of cool cars around here. It is fun doing what we do for a living. It is fun. Even when you're in a cool car, the realities of traffic. Oh well. Could be stuck in something less exciting. Although it would be nice to get stuck in something with air conditioning. That is one of the things that I have considered. This car is technically an air conditioning car. It does have air conditioning on it. I've just never actually tried to charge it or use it. Is it worth it? Or do I just go ahead and foot the bill for the really expensive but awesome serpentine conversion kit for this car? I think I'm gonna do that on Katrina's Charger. Like, probably today, I'm gonna go ahead and order that kit for her Mopar. I need to get her car up and running for this summer, and I think that's gonna be something that's kind of holding me back. I was thinking about maybe just putting another V-belt system on it. I have one that's sitting around that I could throw on it, but I think it makes sense, especially with everything she put up with for Power Tour and the fact that I took her car apart a couple of years ago. I think it makes sense to just go ahead and spend the money and get that serpentine kit on her car. And it would have air conditioning, so she could then actually be cool and comfortable while driving. Although, she does like being hot, not cold. Oh, that was my Frosty Top root beer bottle. It's fine, that wasn't the car falling apart. We are the land of roundabouts around here, by the way. In case you're curious, we have a lot of roundabouts around here. Dublin is right there. Dublin, Ohio likes to be a lot like Dublin, Ireland, so roundabouts are a big thing. Hopefully the highway's not too bad. I have almost no time to get to Jegs. We'll see. Just a day of hot rodding around, picking up hot rod parts, cruising around in a hot rod, doing hot rod things.
Not a bad way to spend a day. GMC Acadia Power Blend, baby. We're gonna make it. I have a question for all of you guys. Old timers who grew up driving these things on a daily basis when they weren't like odd to see out on the highway. I find myself as I drive around looking at other people that are driving, looking at other drivers. So for instance, excuse me for a second, looking at other drivers as I pass them or as they pass me, and realizing that the vast majority of them do not drive anything cool or fun or interesting or attractive, or they're just blah, right? Back in the 60s and 70s, there were beautiful cars all over the place. Cool cars all over the place. Into the 80s, still cool cars all over the place because you were driving this stuff in the 60s and 70s all the time. Whereas today, like, it just, nobody seems to care. Nobody seems to drive anything fun. Everybody's just absorbed in the going wherever I'm going. You know, nobody's paying attention. Like, I'm driving something cool. Not saying, hey, look over at me, give me props and kudos, because I appreciate people give me thumbs up and waving and stuff. Like, that's cool, but like, when did it change that people just no longer cared about what they were driving when they were driving? You know, not saying I don't drive boring cars myself sometimes. I don't want to come off as that guy. But even like my daily driver stuff, when I'm not driving something like this, even my daily driver stuff is still, you know, kind of interesting. It's a car with wheels and tires and lowered. It's a car that's wheels and tires and lowered, and turbo and a wagon and manual, and you know, it's at least something interesting. I don't know. I'm maybe it's just because I'm getting old, but I feel like people are less and less. It's just the driving thing is just, it's a chore. It's not an experience. It's not anything people enjoy. I truly enjoy driving. You know, I mean, obviously this thing is hot and it's loud and smelly and I stink, but I don't know, you know, I'm having fun. I'm enjoying my experience. Whereas all these people that are out here on the road with me, they're just zombies going from point A to point B. I don't know. Maybe my gray hair and my beard is getting into my brain. Am I wrong? Has it always been like this? Was it different back in the olden days before I was able to drive? Some of you guys were out there driving around. I'm genuinely curious. And is this just a continually downward spiral where it's never going to get any better? I can't imagine it's going to get better, as much as I say that. And it's honestly part of what I love about Power Tour. It's because you are out there on the roads, sharing the roads with other people in cool cars that recognize cool cars, and you know, there's other stuff that's out there. It's not just me out here raging into the dark. There's other people out here. Maybe that's part of the reason I love Power Tour. I don't know. I think I'm gonna make it to Jegs before they close. No promises. We'll see. but not by much. Gonna be those guys that show up at the restaurant at the very end of the day, right when they're trying to close. Welcome to Jegs on 11th Avenue. My home away from home. If I'm not at work or in the garage nor at home, this is where I am. Thank you. All right, top secret conversation has been had. Always working something, working the angles, working the connections. Fortunately, I'm very well connected to and supported by these guys. With good guys coming up. For those of you who aren't from here, this is Jegs on 11th Avenue. This is the original Jegs store. This is where Jegs started. 71 is right there. The State Fairgrounds are right down the street, down to the right over there, where the Good Guys car show is. So we are within spitting distance of where that is, which is awesome when you've got Jegs right here. So if you have any problems or anything, you've got them here. So just needed to go over a couple of things with these boys in preparedness. I gotta put a serpentine kit on this car. Everybody, I know, I'm sorry about the squealy belt. I know. Let's see if we can go get it into the fairgrounds real quick and sneak over there. Now last year I made a whole bunch of people mad by showing the construction that's been going on. Since then, check this out. Whole brand new gigantic building that they're building over here. There have been upgrades that have been needed on the fairgrounds for a very, very long time. So, looks like they're getting a lot of that done, which is nice. It's gonna make the fairgrounds much better. It's a multi-year project, lots to do. Ooh, I don't know if I can continue going this direction. Maybe not. Looks like there's maybe a concert here tonight. We may have to recalculate this for another day. Yeah. All right, well, there's no getting where I want to get to. Ooh, check the back gate. We'll give that a try. Hold, please. That was not me letting out, by the way. That's this thing running itself out of fuel. Still gotta figure that out. Still gotta figure that out. I'm running out my fuel pump, my mechanical fuel pump, just can't refuel that quadrijet fast enough. I've always wanted to stay mechanical fuel pump, but maybe that thing just can't keep up. It is the Big Bad Holly mechanical fuel pump. That's why you go out and test these things. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know that I got a problem if I didn't go out and test it. Officer. Still a whole lot of major construction going on, but I'm sure we'll be ready to rock and roll come time. I am excited for Good Guys this year. I am very excited. We're gonna get to not only take the NASCAR to Good Guys, but also put that thing in the Jegs tent, in the Jegs display. So we will be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and by we I mean me, all day long, every day, unless I gotta take a break for lemonade or Fat Guy Fair food. And it should be a ton of fun. I will see what else I can get in that booth, but we will at bare minimum have the NASCAR out so everybody can see it. This is one of the biggest car parties you can have all year long anywhere in this country. We end up with absolutely thousands of cars all over the fairgrounds, and it's a great time. They're all over the place. We cruise up and down the strip, cruise all over the place. Every restaurant, every hotel is full of hot rods. It's just a great time. It really kind of harkens back to the old school time when those cars were all over the place and you just see them regularly in traffic. So really, really cool experience. I'm looking forward to it this year. We've got a little less than a month to go. We got a lot to do on the NASCAR to clean it up and get it ready to rock and roll. Obviously, I got to get that carburetor put on it. We're going to do a couple of other things as well to be able to make sure that it's in pristine condition so it looks good when it's being displayed in the booth. And as always, thank you to the Jegs guys who have made this happen. I wouldn't have been able to do this if it wasn't for you guys. And if it weren't for all you guys watching what it is I do, and literally helping me build this tiny little empire that we've built so far. I'm excited to see where we continue to go. This is going to be a really, really fun summer. We're just beginning, and I will do my very best to share all my adventures with you guys, whether it's just out hot rodding around for the day or whether it's, you know, actually making progress on one of my projects. There's a bunch of stuff coming up with Bob as well in the near future. I know some of the projects have been moving forward on the Pontiac stuff, and I'll get up there with him as soon as I possibly can. Maybe this week, we'll see. Really just kind of depends on when's convenient for Bob. So anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for being here. I truly do appreciate you. I'm glad for all the love on the Pontiac. It's nice to have this thing out rumbling around again. Having a good time playing some good tunes out of the pipes. I'll see you again on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.